Welcome to Fashion Neurosis, Alexi Wasser.
Oh my goodness. All right. Hello, Bella Freud.
Can you tell me what you're wearing today and why you chose these particular clothes?
I am wearing a uber fancy Uniqlo. I don't know if you've ever heard of Uniqlo. Unique Glow. Cashmere, black cashmere crew neck sweater, of which I have multiples. Because when I like something, I guess I have abandonment issues. I buy like 10 of them because I wear one thing. I'm very into uniform. I am wearing a Nilly, correct me if I'm wrong on the pronunciation, Nilly Latan? Do you know the pronunciation?
I know who you mean,
All right.
Nilly Lotan
I'll
or
take the chance.
Nilly Lotan.
Nilly Lotan belt, gold hardware, and then I'm wearing a pair of high-waisted Reformation jeans, straight leg jeans, no stretch in the denim, and I just this is all I wear. And then underneath I'm wearing some crew neck ribbed shirt. And then I'm wearing a pair of flat ballet flats. Usually I wear Gucci loafers, but I'm wearing these new ballet flats that I got from this company called Margot because they make shoes that fit my very long foot. I have a long foot. I like to talk about it because I'm a tall girl, 5'11" and a half. And I used to be so filled with shame about the size of my feet. So now I won't shut the fuck up about it. Now I'm talking about my long foot because if I didn't have this long foot, I tip over. And yeah, they make shoes in my size. Anyway, but yeah, uniform. I just wear the same thing all the time.
I'm glad you wear a jean with no stretch because I hate stretch.
Me too. It looks so cheap, doesn't it?
It feels horrific.
Yeah.
I really don't like it. You're a writer and a filmmaker, and you've just released your first feature film called Messy, in which you also star. And I wondered why you decided to star in it, to act in it as well.
Oh my goodness. Why did I decide to star in it? I decided to star in it. Yes, I did all those things. Thank you for doing all this research. I can't believe it. I don't know if I'm going to be your most anxious guest on this couch. I probably need the therapy the most, but why did I decide to star in it? Because it's a very personal story. I made it for $100,000. I had all these other projects that never went that were more expensive. And then I thought, fuck this. Are we allowed to curse on this show?
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, I'm going to write my own indie movie. And that's what it's like a puzzle to be solved. How can I make a feature film for $100,000? So I wrote this very kind of personal story about, I refer to it as a neurotic sex romp comedy based on my life, but heightened. So I decided to star in it because, the character has her tits out a lot. And I thought, I don't want to do this to another actress. So I'm going to do this. So it's me going on all these mortifying dates with my boobs out, having simulated sex and finding myself in, embarrassing situations that may or may not have been based on real life. So,
I mean, I love the film so much. And I was at a fashion dinner and I heard people talking between themselves about you. And then I heard some sort of trigger words of interest. And I asked about it and they said, yeah, there's this girl. She's really cool. She's made this film. And I got your Instagram handle at the dinner, looked up the trailer and thought, oh my, this is just brilliant. And it's really beautifully made and shot. And you did everything.
Oh my God, Bella.
You wrote it, you directed it, and you're in it. And also the rhythm of how you speak is so engaging and fun. And I wondered, when did that start, your wild curiosity and your innocence about how you express yourself?
Oh my God, I have a wild curiosity and innocence in the way I express myself.
Yes.
I love it. Oh my God. Wait, by the way, what were the trigger words? What were the trigger words that the people said that made you like the thing? And then I'll answer your questions. I'll stop asking you questions.
Probably sexual rom-com or
Good. Okay, good. I mean, I don't know if I'm even going to answer this right, but I just feel like I'm not a chill person, as the kids say. I'm not a relaxed person. I'm self-conscious. I'm neurotic. I overthink everything. I experience a lot of internal suffering, especially when I'm dating or when I'm in love or when I'm trying to be in love. And I think like think the whole thesis of the movie is about a girl who is the most uncomfortable and miserable when she's in love, and yet she can't stop looking for love, you know? So, and that's how I kind of live my life. So my coping mechanism is humor. And so I think like I wrote this movie. I don't even know if I'm answering the question correctly. I've always just written. Writing makes me feel better. Writing helps me like work through all my turmoil. And I love framing any experience I go through. I like framing it where I'm the butt of the joke because it makes me laugh. Because I feel like when I'm in a mortifying, humiliating, disappointing situation, which I, have experienced many a time dating and having sex and falling in love or throwing myself out into the world, the only way I can keep myself from like wanting to curl up and die or something is by like zooming outside of the situation and being like, oh my God, I can't believe this happened. This is hilarious. How can I retell it to other people so that we all laugh about it? And then I'm laughing about it and I don't feel like as gutted as I did immediately. So that's always just how I've been like, I've always been, that's just my coping mechanism. That's my favorite thing to do. And then my goal with what I write is to make people feel less alone, to make people laugh. And then for me to just be able to laugh about the whole thing. And then also find my people, because I really like it if I write a thing or even having made this movie, if another person comes up to me and says, oh my God, I went through the same thing. It's crazy. I go, oh my God, I'm not alone. So I've made this person feel less alone. I feel less alone. I found my people who can relate. And then I realized we're all just suffering. I don't know,
Because you started a blog called Boy Crazy, in which you describe yourself as oversharing about all the things that you just mentioned, relationships and uncomfortable dates and sexual experiences. And what does oversharing mean to you?
Oh my God. What does oversharing mean to me? I feel like, especially with the men I date, or maybe the way people are brought up or how we're supposed to live our life, you're supposed to give the impression that everything's okay and that you're composed and everything's fine. And that is not how I live my life. So my way of like, oversharing is just like, God, I got to stop it. Maybe I got to stop on this podcast today or else I'm going to reveal too much. I
mean, it's interesting because I think I'm the opposite. I'm like a withholding person. I go into a terrible panic and I've always thought of myself that I could hold a burning coal without crying out or saying anything. It's like the idea of oversharing is like so horrible. Alarming. But it's in the end, it's the same. I'm as anxious as maybe what you think you are oversharing. I'm as anxious saying nothing because it's all going on inside me and I'm worrying whether I've said too much or too little. I'm much better.
Yeah.
But, that's been a sort of torment, the kind that you describe of feeling unbelievably.
You sound like the men I date, right? But this is good because maybe you like the movie because, again, I can be the person, the main character in this movie, in this first feature film I made, where you can go, yeah, I don't say it all, I bottle it up, but that is exactly what I'm thinking. I'm worried about my stomach growling. I'm feeling devastated that the guy isn't behaving, or my love interest is not behaving the way I want him to, or I'm being rejected, whatever. Like, yeah, my way of dealing with all that stuff, all the disappointment and the suffering and the like, oh, why aren't they behaving the way I want them to? Why aren't I not feeling fulfilled? I go external with it and it all comes out of my mouth, which I really am trying to get a handle on. Because the funny thing is, or maybe it's not funny at all, but I attract withholding men, and it's no accident because it's like two, what is it, yin and yang? I don't know. And I don't even know what the point of that is, but yeah, I attract. So I feel like I've got to meet. We're all trying to meet in the middle. The withholding people want to get out of their shell a bit. I'm trying to learn how to like, not devour
Eat
them or
someone
like,
alive.
what'd you say? You know what I mean? Like it's supposed to be a beautiful dance. You come together. That's what my old therapist said. I should probably go back to seeing my therapist, but this will be the step towards that. But yeah.
But someone once told me that when I was learning about attachment
Theory or something.
Yeah, attachment theories and the different styles. And she said a way of avoiding intimacy is to be drawn to somebody who is an avoidant. And then you can be avoidant too, because you're avoiding intimacy by going for something that isn't available, which made me feel a tiny bit better at the time, because the notion of being more avoidant
is cooler, right?
Now it seemed to have morphed into being more avoidant, which I don't know.
I want to be more avoidant.
Yeah, I don't think I am either. I'm less anxious.
You're way cooler than me. Are we allowed to say? You give me great dating advice, but that's for when the camera's not rolling, but whatever. Are we done?
Because one of the things I resonated with Messi is her intermittent calls to daddy who never picks up. And your father was a photographer, Julian Wasser, who took some of the most amazing photographs of modern history, actually, of contemporary figures, including the picture of naked Eve Babbitts playing chess with Duchamp and Joan Didion leaning against the white Corvette. And I wondered, were you a daddy's girl, and what does that mean to you?
Oh my God, was I a daddy's girl? I think so. The funny thing is, I think my dad passed away a couple of years ago, and now I'm in charge of his photo estate. And the weirdest thing is, I'm dressing more and more like my dad, because my dad used to wear high-waisted black Levi's and a belt and like an Hermes belt and like Gucci loafers and button-down shirts. And most of the time I'm wearing like a button-down shirt anyway. So it's funny that after he passed away, I'm like dressing exactly like my dad. So that's so weird. But was I a daddy's girl? I think like up into a certain point, I had believe it or not, I had a complicated relationship with my dad. And yeah, I think I had an enmeshed relationship with my dad. I don't know what your relationship with your dad was like. None of my business. This is but yeah, he was like my best friend. And then I think when I hit like puberty and I had my own personality, or I developed my own sense of self, or wanted like freedom and independence, I think it was like, I had a bizarre relationship with my dad. It was interesting, but I'm so similar to him. And I loved him a lot. In what way? I'm very opinionated. I am not relaxed. I'm not chill. I'm just really specific. And
was he like that with you? Was he exacting of his expectation of you?
I think so. God, this feels out of control, this podcast. I don't know where we're going to go with this. Sorry, that's what happens. I have my inner monologue is my outer monologue. Oh my God, it's got to stop. Okay. Yeah, he was really exacting with me. I think and yet he did right by me, because now I get to be in charge of his photo estate, and I'm learning more about him now that he's passed away and going through all of his stuff. And that's a cool thing when a parent passes away and having to go through all of his storage stuff and his old journals and this, that, and the other. And now I'm like getting to know my dad, after he's passed away. And I love him so much, even though he was a kooky character that was often difficult to be around, especially being his daughter, because everything's so much heavier and more intense and wanting approval, or why isn't he acting the way I want him to act, and blah, blah, blah. And now I'm like, whatever age I am, and I'm thinking, oh my God, he's gone. Who cares? Nobody gets a manual for how to be a parent. And if I met him at a bar, I'd probably think he was a charming, funny, cool, interesting guy who was like, who's completely politically incorrect and making wild jokes and stuff. So, which is how I am. I don't know. I'm a loudmouth and opinionated, and anyway, and I respect his work a lot. So I am a daddy's girl, as complicated as the relationship was.
And your mom was in a band called Precious Metal.
Oh my God. My mom was in a band called Precious Metal, and a band in the 70s called Promises. Yeah.
Because there was a big age difference between them. And I wondered how they dressed.
Oh, how did they dress? Oh, that's so funny because they would get in arguments about that. Oh my God. Exposed. My
Really?
mom was watching this. She's like, what are you doing? Tell no one. No. They're almost like 25 years apart in age, and they met on the Sunset Strip. I think they met on like, I don't know where they met, like the Roxy or the Whiskey or the Troubadour, wherever they met. Troubadour's on Santa Monica Boulevard. But anyway, yeah, they met, and I think my dad was outside drinking a gin and tonic, smoking a cigarette, and my mom walked up, and I think he was like, oh, look at this hot babe. I mean, I don't know, something about her big boobs or something. I don't know, whatever. He made out with my mom, and then it was on, and they were together for 6 years. And how did she dress? I think my dad wanted her to dress differently. He was probably turned on by the sexy, youthful, free way in which she dressed. But then I think he would give her grief for what she wore and wanted her to be more, I don't know. I got to call my mom. I'm due for a phone call. I think he wanted her to dress more appropriately as he was trying to suck the life out of her and control her in their weird, fucked up relationship. But yeah. Yeah. But he would have suits made all the time and gabardine suits, and he'd go get them made and monogram shirts and just all very like classic, whatever. And my mom was like, I think like ripped fishnets, and she made her own pants and
Wow.
And I don't know. It's so funny. My mom, I'll give her clothes, and then even to this day, and she'll like cut them or do something to them. And I'm like, how did you manage to turn this thing that I thought was chic, that would serve you well, and like, and then turn it into this crazy thing that I never imagined it could be. And then I'm like, it makes her happy. But yeah, they dress differently.
Because it sounds like your parents were the kind of people that other people think are cool, but are really hard to live with. And I wondered if you had any embarrassment about them.
If I had any embarrassment about my parents? Of course. Oh my God. Yes. Oh my God. Well, yeah, because both of them were like, oh my God, where does the embarrassment start and end? Nowhere, everywhere. Oh God.
Was there one in particular who you were most like self-conscious about?
I mean, God, the way my mom dressed, I didn't like it if she didn't wear, makes me sound like an asshole. If my mom didn't wear lipstick, like a bold lip color, I was so furious. I'd be like, I just wouldn't even want to talk to her. I don't know. That's a me problem. That's not really on my mom.
No, it's interesting though, because I think it's about being too visible for your comfort sort of level because of how unstable things are. Because in the end, well, I don't know. That's my take on it.
That's such a good point. Well, like I had my personal thing with my mom where it was like, she was wild and kooky and rock and roll, but yeah, I was like, oh my God, yeah, don't draw attention. I just want to be normal. I want to be accepted. Oh my God. Like I lived in an apartment growing up, and my friends lived in houses, and I felt not enough. And, I always just felt like, and so, I wanted her to look, I don't know. I think my mom was kind of wild looking, and then I'd get self-conscious. Then with my dad, I don't know if he just got angry really easy.
Really?
And was reactive. And yeah, lots of shame. There's too much shame to even pinpoint where all the shame came from. Yeah, but God.
Did you have any hang-ups about your body when you were making the transition from girlhood to young woman?
Oh boy. Hang-ups. Maybe.
I mean, was your mother quite validating of you as a feminine creature, or did she just ignore that side of you, which is what my mother did? There was just never any mention.
Never any mention of a body or being
of
validated
a body or like periods. No one ever had that conversation.
Oh God.
So it was just mortifying. Everything was.
Oh yeah. I think maybe I blocked it all out, but I feel like I know my mom's always been really supportive, and but there was a lot of times where I was just like kind of left to my own, like left alone or left with other people. But the periods and being validated in my body stuff, all I can remember off the top of my head is I was always so self-conscious, and I always wanted to be really skinny. I think in the 90s, I wanted to be like a waif, and I was really self-conscious about maybe my weight because that was like the heroin chic look was so in or whatever. But yeah, I think I was always so self-conscious. I dressed in like thrift store corduroys and baggy or like I dressed like the boys I had a crush on.
Yeah.
That was my way of being sexy. I didn't even think like maybe I wore a tube top here and there. Cut that out. Just kidding. Anyway, maybe I wore a tube top here and then, but my main goal, like that was such a weird thing that I was thinking about. Because when I listened to your show and you asked these questions about like, oh, what is sexy and what did your body, this, that, and the other. Yeah, it made me think, yeah, in high school, I was so boy crazy. You know, I was like super hormonal. I've always just like loved the idea of romance and having crushes and just so like amped up. And maybe today's the day I'm going to meet the love of my life and like my boyfriend or whatever. It's just so embarrassing. But I would dress never in a provocative way. I would wear like 50 cotton, 50 poly t-shirts and like, you know, vintage thrift store t-shirts and corduroys and jeans and vintage Levi's and white sneakers. Because I think I just wanted to like, because that's the kind of boy I wanted to attract. I wanted to attract some guy who looks like Liam Gallagher, who like looks like, you know, who wears like dark denim and a green and a parka or something. So I would dress that way, which is so weird. But I thought that was feminine. And then, do you mind that I'm going off on a diatribe?
No, I love it. It's interesting.
Well, then when I was in my 20s, I remember some guy who was going to take me on a date, and he was like, he was such a bonehead. I don't know. I mean, this is clearly when I was at my lowest self-esteem wise, but I've been lower. But anyway, but he was like, I'm going to pick you up. I'm going to pick you up at 8. I was like, all right, okay. I've been chosen. I can't believe it. Somebody's going to pick me up for a date. This is amazing. And he goes, wear something sexy. And I remember when he said that, I was like, wear something sexy. What does that mean? And I completely lost my shit. And I overthought it so much because I thought, what is sexy? Here's this normal man, because he wasn't some like kind of wayfish, androgynous drug addict, which was my normal type usually, like some kind of rocker or something. He was like a normal guy with a job or something. And I went, fuck, he wants me to be sexy. Oh God. And I ended up going to Urban Outfitters. So embarrassing. I went to Urban Outfitters and I got some kind of bandage skirt. And then I wore heels, which I never wear to this day. I rarely wear heels because I always want to be able to run away from a predator. And I do not like wearing heels because I'm already like nearly 6 feet tall. Yeah. And I wore like these bizarre heels I was so uncomfortable in, this weird bandage skirt that like, oh my God. And I was just like a robot, just like, I'm here. And they picked me up. And anyway, it didn't go anywhere. It went nowhere. He looked at his phone the whole time. He's a very successful producer on this day. Good for him.
You sound like you looked amazing as well. There's something incredibly endearing when someone's out of their comfort zone and they're really young. But it is, I mean, I don't think anyone's ever said that to me, dress sexy, because some people think wearing track pants and a kind of shredded t-shirt is sexy, and someone else thinks, you know, shredded fishnets and a kind of God knows what. But so I would find that
so
really
rude. So rude. I
don't know, just disconcerting. It's like, that isn't a directive. Tell me what to wear and I'll wear that.
What is sex? I don't even want that, because I got asked out on a date by some guy, and he said, it's like some Italian place in Queens or something. And I was like, oh, exciting. We're going to go to a mafioso place in Queens. And then he texted, he goes, oh, by the way, there's a dress code. And by this time, I think I had too much self-esteem this week. And I was like, dress code? He's telling me how to dress. He can go fuck himself. I was already like burned by the last guy who told me to dress sexy from when I was in my 20s. Then I'm in my 30s or whatever. I was like, how dare he even? I know what I'm doing. And then I was hard-headed the other way. And then what I realized is I like being able to share clothes with a boyfriend. I like when we both can just share the same pants. I don't know where I'm going with this. Oh, my idea of sexy, like these little details are sexy to me. Wearing like a thin t-shirt where you can kind of see through it, and then I'm wearing like a black lace bra. Or if I'm wearing like a singlet or a white t-shirt or a wife beater or whatever we're supposed to call these tank tops that are, you know, that we used to call wife beaters, underneath a thin white tank top, I wear a black lace bra, and then I'm like, oh my God, then I feel naughty. Then it's like, you can see my bra. I don't know. To me, that's sexy.
I like those looks that seem to have come out of Fame, the musical. You know,
Oh my God, I love that movie so
that was
much.
so good. And all that kind of Jane Fonda workout and all those layerings of those from that era. I think that looks really cool.
Oh my God, I love the Coco part when Coco's like, goes over to the guy's house and she's like taking her shirt off for like, do you know what I'm talking about?
No, I don't
forget
remember
it.
that.
And that's all I'm looking for, is to be understood. Oh God.
Because in Messy, you appear semi-naked a lot of the time. And how is it to direct a movie with bare-breasted at the same time? And I mean, it was really impressive, but you know, you did everything. And I wondered what that felt like.
Oh my God.
I mean, did you rush to the monitor with like just your panties on?
I did. And the funny thing is, I thought like we had a very small cast. I had like a skeleton crew, a lot of men, a lot of women behind the camera as well. But I was like, they're going to love this. My tits are out. This is incredible. I mean, I'm surely everybody will have a hard on. Nobody had a hard on. Nobody. There was like photos that people took on set. Actors were like, oh, got rolling their eyes. My DP is like looking, I'm here with my tits out. My DP is like looking the other way, drinking a Tazo tea or something. And I'm just like, anybody? And then I did ask, and then at some point I thought, okay, maybe I don't want to get like, canceled. I'll be the first in line when women get canceled or so. I don't want that for me. But so I started putting my tank top on to be respectful in between shots. But then because it was such a low budget movie and we had so many people wearing so many hats and no real script supervisor except for my producer, Rebecca, that I would jump back into the shot wearing the tank top. So the continuity was off. So I just had to leave the top off and be directing with my tits out. Anyway, and then at the end of the whole thing, I was like, did anybody get a hard on? Did anybody get a hard on during the shooting of this movie? And then one actor who will remain nameless was like, I got a hard on. And I was like, thank you. I want to say his name, but thank you.
Oh,
just kidding. Okay, bleep that. One hard on during the making of Messy. So anyway.
Because you describe also working in the APC store in Soho in New York and having to write summaries of customers. And what kind of things did you write?
Oh my God. Oh yeah. Well, not a proud moment in my life. It was great. Well, okay. So I just moved. I love that you ask a question. And then I'm like, let me take us all the way away from the question and maybe I'll get back to it. So I worked, I moved to New York after living in Los Angeles my entire life as a shop. And so I'm like, I'm not going to write anymore. I'm not going to act anymore. I'm living in New York now, post-pandemic. I need structure. I need a job. I need money. You hemorrhage money living in New York. And so, I got a job as a shop girl at APC at the Mercer flagship location because it's something I wanted to do when I was in my 20s. And I feel like I moved to New York and I just had a complete like midlife crisis where I, dated people much too young for me, made horrible decisions, but then also got this fun job as a shop girl. Everybody there was 18 and then I'm like 40 years old. And at the end of the day, you had to type out your most meaningful exchange, your most meaningful sale with a customer. So like all the kids who work there would be like, I sold a pair of dark denim or sold a pair of white sneakers. And then I had stopped writing in my personal life. I thought, fuck it, I'm not writing anymore. And then I tippy-toed because of this thing you had to do at the Mercer APC. Suddenly my blurbs would get longer and longer and longer. And they'd go from like, I sold a dress to a nice woman who walked into the shop. And then they would turn into, a woman walks in, weaves her way off the cobblestone streets of Soho and finds herself in the store. She's in a horrible marriage. They've been together for 20 years. Surely they're not sleeping anymore. And just for a moment, I remind this woman of who she once was. She puts the dress on and we may never talk again, but I'll never forget her or something like.
And so great.
So the head of APC comes out of the store, the head of headquarters. He comes in, this French guy, and he's like, "Are you the funny lady who's writing these very chunky, long write-ups?" And I went, "Yes, it's me. It's me. I'm the funny lady." And he was like, "God, well, we are just loving in a French accent that I can't do, and I don't want to offend anybody. But he was like, "Sacre bleu!" But he was like, We're loving the stories." And I went, "You're loving the stories? Thank you so much." And he goes, "Yeah, but they're a little long. They're a little long, and this is a clothing store, so we need to tighten them up." And then I was like, "You know what? Fuck this. I'm in love with writing again. I'm gonna go back to writing." And then after that, I wrote my movie because I was whatever.
Really?
Yeah.
That's so great, because I remember decades ago I was doing something for another magazine, and I was asking different people to submit things, and I can't remember what it was about. And I asked Sophia Coppola for something, and she said her brother had told her to read Richard Brautigan because it was very, very short. And it was a great way to, have lessen the expectation of, finalizing something, having something. So short form is really great. And it's such a good reminder that all you need to do is something short, and then you're writing. The worst thing is to write nothing.
Oh God,
of course, as we all know. And and then messy is a great word, and it's so evocative, and all the meaning that comes with it. And you said you tell people about your encounters, and I find it really scary to tell people. And I wondered, how does it make you feel safe to kind of give the information and then hold yourself within that?
Oh my God, that's so funny. It's weird that this works for me, but it's almost like living with it inside of me and with the shame of it, or the let's say I don't know whatever experiences inside, like sharing it with people, then it has no power over me. It's like that scene in the Labyrinth where like Jennifer Connelly is like, "You have no power over me." And then I get it out there, and then I survived, and then it's okay, and it's not so heavy. And it's like another person will say, "Oh, the same thing happened to me," or just getting out of my system, and it's not just like eating away at me. It just makes me feel better. And so so writing and the making of this movie and putting every horrible thought I've ever had about myself, or putting those thoughts in other characters in the movie, like that I interact with in Messy, like it just relieves me of the shame. It's like, that's why I talk about my big feet too. So, I mean, oh God, I have a long foot. I say long foot because it's such a weird way to refer to having a big foot. I have a long foot because I'm trying to maybe it sounds chic and posh, because I mean, whatever. But because I remember I went on a date with a guy one time, and I was just the whole time thinking, I hope he never notices my big foot. I wear an 11.5 in women, American. And I'll just die if he notices. And then one day he's dropping me off at the end of a date, again, giving a man way too much power, giving another person way too much power over how I feel about myself. And he said, just as I'm about to get out of the car, clump, clump. No, he's like, "Oh my God, what size shoe do you wear?" And I remember I just looked at him and I burst into tears. I burst into tears because I was like, it's happened. My biggest fear is realized. So now, even in the movie in Messy, like there's a scene where I'm in the bathtub with this guy. I compare my foot to his big foot. And then now it's in a movie, and it's people, if you can go on your Apple TV and watch this movie and see how big my foot is. And you know what? I don't care. Who cares? It's out there. It didn't kill me. So that's how I feel about just it has no power over me.
Yeah, it's the shame diffuser, isn't it?
Yeah. What is that? The more personal, the more universal. So the more whatever. I don't know. You get the gist. I don't know.
Have you ever listened to that song by Fats Waller called "Your Feet's Too Big"?
No. Should
My
I?
dad
I'll do it.
Sorry.
What'd you say?
It's a love song, and it's like,
sing it.
Your feet's too big. I really hate you 'cause your feet's too big. I'm mad at you 'cause your feet's too big. I really hate you 'cause your feet's too big.
Am I moving around?
It's all about this perfect girl, but then she's absolutely thrown out of the Garden of Eden because of her feet.
Oh my God.
But I totally agree with you. I had so much shame.
Phobia. Do you really?
Less now. Oddly, the older I get, the less shame I have. But I had this, as soon as I hit puberty, I'd gone from kind of thinking, oh, I'm okay, you know, in my darkest, deepest thoughts, and then thought, I am appalling. I am just, and then I would look in the mirror and just be a series of body parts. I could never see myself whole. And then now I'm older, I think, oh, great, you know, legs, arms, you know, it's all good.
You gave me such, like, by the way, do you get your legs out? Do you, like, you told me I was going to go on a date or I was going to a party.
Yeah.
And then you were like, get your legs out. And I went, oh my God, Bella Freud told me to get my legs out. I must get my legs out. Because I make you way too important. I put you on a pedestal. Like, if she says to get my legs out, I'm getting my legs out. And then I did, and it changed everything. It changed everything. Suddenly, I was feeling sexy, and I was like, oh my God, we're all just going to die. I got to get my legs out. But then I saw you went to a party. You didn't have your legs out.
No, I'm a bit past legs out, but maybe just in private. But
oh my God.
I love legs. I think they're like the most beautiful thing on a woman and anyone. You've got such long legs.
Oh my
great
God.
legs.
It's
and
tight season.
When I met you, you were wearing a mini skirt. So I was like, yeah, get the legs out.
Was I really?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
We had lunch in St. Ambrose.
I had my legs out.
Yeah.
I feel like I was wearing some kind of long skirt, but who cares? Yeah. Okay, good.
Yeah, John Waters named Messy as one of his top 10 films of this year. And I wondered which was the first film that you saw that made you feel that you could make films.
Oh my God, I'm still waiting. Still waiting to see a film that makes me feel like I can make film. No, well, by the way, that was like the highlight of my life. John Waters liking my movie. I couldn't believe it. God, I don't know. I like movies. I like Annie Hall. I like Hannah and Her Sisters. I like Manhattan. I like modern romance. I love Albert Brooks. I love Goodfellas, all these different movies, but there are a few movies specific to what inspired Messy. Also because, again, it was like a puzzle. It's like, how can you make a movie for $100,000? You know, it ended up being a little bit more, but it's still under $200,000. So it's not like we're dealing with a movie that has explosions or like crazy special effects, which I wouldn't be interested in anyway, because I'm completely neurotic and into like examining feelings and love and relationships and overthinking and all the tiny little details and whatever, and shining a light on, like, you know, things you observe. But what are the movies? Probably like, you know, the movies I just said, but also like Swingers, a movie called An Unmarried Woman by Paul Mazursky is a huge influence for me. Looking for Mr. Goodbar. I really feel like Messy is a combination of, An Unmarried Woman and Looking for Mr. Goodbar. But then I also like, you know, My Dinner with Andre is a super talky movie. I'm a verbose person, as you can tell. I won't shut the fuck up. So it's like, I like these movies, like Whit Stillman movies, like Metropolitan, Last Days of Disco. And then there's a filmmaker named Henry Jaglom. He just recently passed away.
I don't know about him.
Good, because a lot of people just hate his movies. Most people hate his movies, but I'm going to name one of his movies that I love. And the reason I love it, it's called Someone to Love. And the reason I love this movie is I saw it on TV. I caught it when I was like 21 years old, living in a studio apartment in West Hollywood a million gazillion years ago. And it's with Sally Kellerman, and Henry Jaglom acted in his movies. But it's just all people talking about their feelings and love and relationships. And I thought, holy shit, much like, you know, My Dinner with Andre, it's like, this is allowed? You're just allowed, like, aiming a camera at like these people just talking? This is insane. But then I went, I guess that's okay. You know, just like people talking about their feelings. Yeah. It's so crazy. I didn't know that was okay. So I'm like, oh, maybe it is.
And you're good at being naked. And so what?
You pervert. You pervert.
So what's your favorite kind of underwear? Is it risque or is it schooly?
Oh my God. Is it, you know what? Here's the thing. On my day-to-day and living in the world, I love wearing, what do you call them? Thongs?
Oh gosh.
Really? I do. But here's the thing. I don't want to be naked in front of a guy in a thong because I don't love my butt. Because I feel like I have like a very little non-butt, okay? It's not my best feature. I like my boobs. I pretty much have no butt. I have a teeny tiny butt. So I want something, I like, you know, like a 60s kind of mod hip hugger, sexy thing. So yeah, day to day, I like matching undies. Even if I'm not going on a date, just for the sake of it, I like, I don't know, this company. Am I giving company names? Do you mind?
Not at all.
Brands?
I want to know.
Fleur de Mal? Is that the name of them?
Fleur de Mal.
Is that what they're called?
Flowers of wickedness.
Maybe so. It is a good thing.
Good.
If that is the name, that's a great name. Okay. Them, Casabella, you gave me some recommendation.
Yeah, Yasmin Eslami. She does like Guy Bourdin style underwear, which I love.
So sexy. And then I went on a date the other day, and I love lingerie. And this on our date, we're walking around. I was visiting London, and we went into Agent Provocateur, and he bought me lingerie. I couldn't believe it. It's the sexiest James Bond-esque move in the entire world. Good. We ended up having sex. I was wearing my lingerie. Are you allowed to talk about this stuff on the show?
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, it was so fucking hot. I couldn't believe it. I really have to stop cursing so much, but this is what it is. But
that's so romantic. I mean,
God,
that's the things you think are going to happen, and then they never happen.
Oh, and he made it. I couldn't believe it. Like this sexy gesture. And I feel like modern men, some men lately think like, oh, women wouldn't want to be given perfume or a candle or lingerie because it's not feminine. I'm a feminist. Go fuck yourself. I'd love some lingerie. Thank you very much. And if you want to see me wearing it and fuck me while I'm wearing it, great. Let's do it. And so, yeah. So it was the sexiest thing in the world. However, do you mind that I'm telling you every detail?
No.
Okay. So the funny thing was, we're walking around, we're living our life. I'm trying to act like some version of myself that's like sexy and carefree, which I am not. And then we go into the lingerie shop, and all the girls at Agent Provocateur are wearing some kind of uniform. And I'm already kind of inside being like, ugh, is he looking at these sales girls? I hope not. But I had to pretend to be cool and effortless and not jealous. And I am kind of jealous and territorial and insecure sometimes, most of the time, a lot of the time. Anyway, so I pick out a thing, and I'm like, oh, maybe I'll try this thing. And then and he's like, oh yes, okay, great, And then I'm like, oh, I'll be back in a minute. And then I go into the dressing room, and it's just so funny how the version of me in the dressing room is so different from the I'm putting the lingerie on, and I was only wearing ballet flats, which doesn't look hot when you're just putting on some lingerie getup. You prefer to probably be in heels to make your thighs look better, or blah, blah, blah. So I'm putting the stuff on, and I'm like, oh God, I've got a scar in my stomach. I have a scar on my forehead. I've got a scar here. I'm swimming in scars. Anyway, but so I'm putting all this stuff on, and I'm like, it's only new with this guy. And I'm like, oh God, get it together. Just giving myself an internal pep talk, being like, okay, you got that. My nose is running. It's cold outside. I always have allergies. My snot dripping out of my nose. And I'm like, just get it together. And he's like, how are you doing in there? And I'm like, I'll be ready in a minute. So these are all the things that are going on in my brain. Oh God, get it together. Don't be a monster. And then I'm like, come in. And then he comes in, and I'm just being some version of myself that's such bullshit, just trying to hold it together. And I think I did. And he got me the lingerie. I couldn't believe it. And then we went back to my hotel and had sex wearing the lingerie. So bottom line is, I love lingerie. I wear thongs on my own time. And then sometimes if I go on a date and I think I'm going to have sex, I'll have a full bottom, not full bottom, but a proper undie.
But a high, big panties.
No, not a big panty, but just not a thong. Like a proper panty that is not a thong. I'll have that in my purse so I can do some kind of fun switcheroonski because, yeah. So God. I'm just a cool, chill girl looking for love in all the wrong. Tell me when the podcast starts. It's going to be good.
Oh, it's so good.
Oh my God.
I remember once saying to my husband, why didn't you buy me something for Valentine's Day? And then I opened this package, and it was this enormous pair of black pants that were big enough for an enormous kind of person who worked in a coal mine. And I fell on the floor and cried with laughter, and I never tried that again.
Wait, why did he do that? Did you tell him?
I just, part of my embarrassment and shame, I would never ask for something because I'd never ask for anything I wanted. So I didn't get it. And are there clothes that make you feel better when you're feeling low?
Oh my God. A paper bag. Let's see. A f- God. I just like a really nice fitting. This is probably the most boring answer in the world. A good fitting pair of jeans,
Mm.
matching lingerie.
So do you kind of dress up or down when you're feeling insecure like that?
Oh God, I think I just don't leave my bed.
Mm.
I just stay in, and bed rot is, as I've heard people say. Oh, you know what makes me feel sexy, which gets me together in a pinch, is stockings, like black stockings.
Wow.
Right?
You're a great girlfriend.
Don't you think? But I mean, like, I don't mean like like, also, I do have those, so I should get those, that come up so you could like bend over and something exciting can happen, like have sex, I mean. But anyway, oh yeah, black stockings, 'cause I feel like that, like, sucks your thighs up. It gets everything in one, in one fell swoop. It sucks it all in. Yeah. And then it's not too revealing. I feel safe still. Yeah. And then what else? And I guess for me, like showing the shape of my body and an A-line skirt or a very short, like mini skirt or something. So I don't feel, because I still want to feel safe. I want to feel safe. And I like flats. And thank God, Gucci loafers come in my big foot size. And this company, this is a new thing. I'm saying, I'm not like, yeah, anyway, a nice shoe. I realize I'm 44 years old now, and finally I'm building out my shoe collection because I'm actually finding shoes that fit me, which is like a miracle. It's like it's like, because I wear, oh my God, dare I say, I wear a 43, sometimes a 43 and a half in a shoe. And this company, Margot, I don't even know why, started making these sizes that fit my long foot and a lot of flats because I love wearing a flat. So now I have this assortment of like tiny little heels, kitten heels, and flats or like a square heel. So I feel like I'm in the 60s that I can wear with my stockings, and I can actually participate as a potentially maybe not repulsive active member of society. And maybe somebody will be like, who's that? But also, I just feel good in my skin because these things exist now.
Yeah. I find a shoe does wonders for my morale. It's like, courage kind of goes through your backbone and being elevated and stuff.
The thing is, I'm so tall, so that's why I never want to be elevated.
Yeah.
Wait, what size shoe do you wear? None of my business.
39.
Oh, you're so lucky.
Average, yeah.
Average is perfect.
And is there a particular garment that you find attractive on a man?
Yes. Oof, I will tell you what kills it though. Okay, well, attractive on a man. I don't know if I'm just stuck in the 90s or the early aughts, or I just love Oasis so much. And I'm not just saying that because you're British, but I just love a white shoe. I like a white sneaker. I like dark denim. Again, like that's like how I was dressing the way I did when I was younger to try to attract, some version of Liam Gallagher who was into like, emo, whatever, shoegazy music. Yeah. Yeah, dark denim, white sneaker, just simple, effortlessly chic. Like you don't want a guy to seem like he tried. Like he just rolled out of bed. I want to smell his pheromones or something. I just don't want, oh my God, I don't want. And then I'm launching into like what repulses me is like.
Well, that's another question. If you fancy someone and don't like something they're wearing, does it kill your attraction?
Oh God, it kind of does, because even though you can't, because now as I'm maturing and I'm evolving, I'm like, I don't want to change someone. I don't want to change a person. I want to accept somebody as they are, even though, you can slightly cajole and change somebody's or buy gifts, like, but yeah, like, but also it like, it's linked to their brain where you're like, why would they choose that? How could they not know? Why don't they have the, I mean, not like why my taste is the be all end all. It's like, I got my own problems. I can go fuck myself. Like, who knows? I mean, this is my taste and my personal thing. Like, but yeah, if I'm looking at a guy and he's wearing some kind of kooky over the top, like shoe or something, like a really bad dress shoe, or I don't know, and like a tapered jean.
What, a skinny jean?
A skinny jean. That's what I mean. Like a skinny jean.
Really gross.
Doing too much. I don't want him to be doing too much. I want it like, I like white t-shirts, I like crew neck. I don't want a deep V situation like the early aughts American Apparel kind of thing. Like I just want, just, oh my God, there's this guy, Aaron Levine, I just discovered on, which I think people know about this guy, like guys who like fashion like this guy. And he posts like photos of his fit pics, as the kids say. And he is such a good dresser. He's so like, oh my God. I don't watch porn, but that could be porn for me. I don't know. Good outfits, effortlessly chic, minimal, simple. Yeah, classic.
And you have a great fringe. Have you always had that?
Have I always had this? Well, actually, I have it. Well, I'm naturally blonde.
Really?
I'm naturally blonde, but I don't like blonde people. I really don't.
Wow.
I don't love them. I don't want to be a blonde person.
That's so rare, isn't it?
Yeah,
Everyone tries to be blonde except for
I like
you, and Olivia Wilde is naturally blonde
really?
as well.
God, she seems so great. She seems very cool.
She's so beautiful.
I knew I liked her. But yeah, well, like I like white blonde. Maybe I would do that one day. But I'm like a goldeny blonde. Who cares? Okay, so at a very young age, at like 13, I dyed my hair like blue black, and I gave myself bangs or a fringe or whatever we're calling them. But also, two things. I have a scar on my forehead. It's like a Harry Potter scar because I got bit by a dog when I was 2 years old. And so that was kind of like a way to like, even though I always loved fringe, I just always thought it was such like an immediate kind of like, sometimes people think it's like a Lego hairstyle that I've got, but
Lego hairstyle?
I don't know. Like it's like a very specific, I don't know. But yeah, I like Jane Birkin. I like, girls from the 60s. But yeah, it covers my scar. And as I get older, it keeps me from, I've yet to get Botox, which is great because my whole face is falling towards the couch right now. But it's like when you have fringe, you can like take a little bit longer before you have to enter, take your foray into Botox or what have you. So.
Well, it's interesting because most people look better with their natural color, but you really suit being dark.
I know. You told me you wouldn't have even talked to me if I was blonde, right?
I can't imagine.
Just
Why?
kidding.
Why would I do such a thing? I do like having a fellow dark sister. It's like someone described someone as being a hero brunette the other day, and I thought, yeah, we need those.
Oh, who's a hero brunette? Like Dakota Johnson?
Yeah,
God.
She's got all the allure of what's supposed to be a blonde allure. I mean, it is a fascinating thing. There's, like that Blondie song. Oh, your hair is beautiful. And I thought, God, that's the best line I've ever heard.
Oh my God, I got to listen to this after.
Yeah, because it's like Kim Gordon has amazing hair.
Oh my
God, and it's like
so
something
cool.
from Andy Warhol. Anyone who has hair from Andy Warhol, it has this kind of, this kind of glamorous cinematic shimmer.
God, is that me?
It catches light.
Am I in the club?
I think you have French film hair.
I'm not at the
Anna Karina kind of French.
I'm not at the factory.
Ingenue. You're not at the factory.
That's the meanest thing you've ever said to me, Bella.
But you're in a Godard film. That's got to be something. Yeah, you could be at the factory. You could be
too late.
Nico in her dark phase, except for her blonde phase was better. I'm sorry.
Oh my God. Wait, I'm going to put my hand here and then people can be like, yeah, her hands do look like Gollum.
No, we can't talk about hands because...
Oh, really?
No.
Why?
Well, then we're going to start dissing our hands.
Oh, okay, let's stop.
We can't diss anything.
We're not doing that today.
No. Well, thank you so much, Alexi Wasser, for being on Fashion Neurosis. I've had the most entertaining and riveting time talking to you, and I'm a massive fan.
Oh my God.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.